Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We were discussing about the types of economies. So already we have discussed about the developed and underdeveloped economy, and already have uploaded the video on the socialist economy and capitalist economy. So today we are going to discuss about the mixed economy. So those who haven't seen those videos, please go through and see those videos of socialist and capitalist economy, developed and undeveloped economy. Then you are going to have a clear idea about those. Next we come to this mixed economy. What is this mixed economy? By the name itself you can understand that it combines both the elements of capitalist and socialist economy. The mixed economy is what? It combines both the elements of socialist as well as capitalist. Okay. Next is what features of mixed economy. There are various features of mixed economy. First is what? Coexistence of public and private sector. As because this mixed economy is a combination of both the capitalist and socialist economy, so we can tell that there is a coexistence between this public and the private sector. So what is this public sector here? Public sector represents the economy which is operated and managed by the state government. Public sector always means that it is managed by the state or by the central. And in this public sector, what happened? The profitability is low because they mostly are engaged on the welfare motive. Their motive is to look in the matter of the welfare of the people. And what happened? And so the public sector operates where in the railway, where they look in the welfare matter of the people. So we can see that the ticket cost of the railways of the local train are very low. Then transport and communication. If you board a bus or on a this government bus, you can see the fare which this bus take is low as compared to the private buses. Next, post and telegraphs, power project, banking, finance, everything. So these are everything. These sectors are managed by the public. These are the public sector, which is managed and controlled by the state or by the central government. Next is what the private sector, on the other hand, managed and owned by the private individuals. This also we have gone through that. This private sector, on the other hand, these are also managed by the private individuals. So mixed economy is a combination of the both. Our country, India, is a mixed economy where we can see that both the public as well as the private sector present in this economy. Next is what? Coexistence of socialist and capitalist feature. So again we can find that there is a coexistence of both the socialist as well as the capitalist features. What is that? It is characterized by the presence of the private property such as profit motive is there, competition, price mechanism, which are the features of the capitalist economy. Everything is present in these mixed economy. And also what else we can see, on the other hand, there is a presence of economic planning, which is a part of the public sector, socialist economy. It is also present in this. This feature is also present here in the mixed economy. Next, economic planning. Economic planning is what? Economic planning is to promote the economic development, to regulate the entire economy, and to coordinate cooperation of both the public and the private sector. So, what is the need of this economic planning? Just to promote economic development. How can the economy be developed? What are the ways you can make the economy develop? So, everything needs a part of planning. Everything needs a planning. Without the planning, you cannot implement anything. So everything, whatever work you do, everything needs a planning. If a proper planning is there, then definitely your work will be successful. So planning is very much important in all the spheres. Okay, planning is very much important in all the spheres. Okay, next is what? And also what it is a uh, operation, means it's a coordination between the public as well as the private sector. That is why all the features of the mixed economy, all the features of the capitalist and also the features of the socialist economy are present in this mixed economy. So it's a mutual coordination between both the public as well as the private sector. Next is that regulation and control of the private sector. See, the government regulates the private sector through taxation, subsidies, monetary policy, licensing policy, anti-monopoly control, everything. So, okay, so the regulation and control of this private sector. That means what a government, how the government regulates this private sector? By impose a tax. Then by, then the government give subsidies to the people. Licensing policy, anti-monopoly control. In this way, the government control the private sectors. Next, what we can see, promotion of economic welfare. Okay, this is also one of the features of a mixed economy, is that promotion of the social welfare. The government makes an effort to promote the social welfare. It provides various facilities like education, health sanitization, etc., free of cost. So here in our country also we can see that there are many government schools where the children gets an elementary education at totally free of cost. Many hospitals are also there. There also you can get the treatment is given to the below poverty group of people at free of cost, provided you have to show that yes, you are below poverty line. Then rationing also is you are getting all the food items at a low price. The people, those who cannot afford from the market, they afford to get it from the ration shop. So ration shop is meant for that purpose only. Okay, ration shop is meant for that purpose only. Next is what? Price mechanism. What is this price mechanism? Price mechanism is allowed to function subject to certain regulation through price control, fixation of minimum wages, for example, railway fares, electricity charges, gas prices, etc., fixed by the government. So this is what the price mechanism is allowed to function subject to certain regulation through price control. Then what? Fixation of minimum wages. That means any workers, any laborers, those who are working in this economy, their wages are fixed. Below that wage, they will not get. That is called the minimum wage. You have to give that wage to any labor or any worker. Those who are working, they have to get that minimum wage. So that wage is fixed by the government. So railway fares also. For example, selling railway fares, you get minimum price is but 10 rupees. Minimum price railway fare is 10 rupees. So that it is affordable for every class of people. Because rail is such a transport that is available by every group of people. So you also have to make the fare reasonable so that it can be afforded by all the groups of people. Okay, next what we can see, gas prices, etc. That is everything, electric charges, everything is fixed by the government so that it is affordable for every class, every group of people. Generally, we can see in the Panchayat area, the electric charges are comparatively less as compared to the corporation areas. So in that case, we can see this difference. So these things are always looked after by the government. As this is a mixed economy, and we know that both the welfare motive as well as profit maximizing motive will be present in this sector. Next is what? Profit motive. As I told you, profit motive is also there. So profit motive remains guiding motive of the private sector, but public sector guided largely by the motive of social welfare. So both the profit making motive and the welfare motive is present in this economy. Next is what? Preservation of freedom. Freedom is what? It provides enough scope for the private initiative and enterprise. Consumers are free to choose goods and services. Whatever goods and services they want to consume, they are free to choose according to their own wish. They're free to consume according to their wish. There is no such imposition is there, no such restriction is there. Okay, it is subject to certain restriction imposed by the government in the interest of the society. Even if there is certain restriction which is imposed on the consumption of the consumer good, it is just because for the benefit for the society. Some restrictions are there just because to maintain for the benefits of the society. Next is there are certain merits. So from the features also you can write down the merits as well as the demerits. Now let us come to the merits of the mixed economy. So every economy we can see in a socialist also, in a capitalist also we can see features we have seen. The certain merits are there in the capitalist economy, certain demerits are also there. In a socialist economy, certain merits are there, also certain demerits are there. In the mixed economy also certain merits are there and certain demerits are there. So what are the merits? We will discuss it first. What are the merits? See, first is for proper allocation of resources. That means for economic resources of the uh, are utilized in the best possible way. So here allocation of the resources are made in a proper way. There is no unutilized resources. Every resources are fully and also efficiently it is utilized. Next is economic stability. Then it tries to avoid the ups and downs. Economic stability, we know that maybe overproduction, maybe underproduction, maybe inflation, maybe deflation, maybe booms, maybe depression. All these are the conditions of this economic instability. But this is one of the merits of the mixed economy is that it tries to avoid this up and down, and always through proper planning system economic stability is maintained. Just because, as I told it, it's a mixture of both the socialist as well as capitalist economy, so proper planning is done by the public sector. So that is the reason if the economy faces this instability, so with the proper economic planning, this is recovered. So the economy will always be in a stable position. Next is what advantage of the market system. Market system is what you can see that it has all the advantages such as private property, inheritance right, competition, profit motive. The presence of the government ensures the adverse effect of these institutions are kept under check. That means all the advantages such as private property. Private property is one of the advantages. That means it is owned by the private owner. Then inheritance of right. Inheritance of right means the property which you own, it may be transferred to the legal heirs. Then competition is there, your rivalry is there, so that always you want to work more in order to earn more. As because there is lots of competition, lots of rival firms are there, and always and definitely what you want to do, you want to be the best among them. So this competition is present in a mixed economy also, as because it is a mixture of both the socialist as well as the capitalist. So the competition is prevailing in this mixed economy. And what happened, inheritance right and profit motive. So the presence of the government ensures that the adverse effect of the institutions are kept under check, so that these features of the mixed economy will be always checked, and this will always be under the control of the government, so that it won't face any adverse situation due to the competition or due to the profit making motive. It affect the economy adversely. It won't be, because the government is always behind it to check the adverse effect, so that your economy run in a very smooth way. Okay, next is what rapid economic development. Next point is rapid economic development. What is that? A mixed economy uses the combined sources and energies of the public as well as the private sector to promote economic development. Okay, so due to this economic development, as because this is a combined sector of both the public as well as the private sector. So therefore, it will create economic development very fast. Next is check on concentration of economic power. What is this concentration of economic power? You can see the monopolist control of industries and their exploitative tendencies are curbed. Okay. Next is what inequalities of income is kept under check by the government. Okay. So monopolist control of industries are there. Exploitative tendencies are curbed. So if our economy is a monopoly economy, then always there will be tendency to exploit others, because you know that what is monopoly? Monopoly means you are only the sole body and you can control everything. So you're the sole body. You can control anything. So you will have the tendency, because you know that without me nothing is possible. So whatever I do, they have to follow. You know very well, it is inside your mind that you are the sole one can do this. So people will come to you for help. So whatever, so according to a wish, they will act, they will behave. So this condition of exploitation is totally curbed in this mixed economy. Because always what happened, because public sector, government is behind it. Again, once more to tell you, there is a combination of both the public as well as the private sector. Next, there are certain demerits. What are the demerits? Let us see one by one. There is a conflict between the two sectors. So this is one of the shortcomings. That means there is always a conflict, bitterness, non-cooperation. We'll tell, okay, you have told this, no, I'll not do that. So if you're working together also, there may be some conflict. It's not that working together means always will work in a very cool way, no disturbance, nothing. It's not that. But there will be certain bitterness. So working together always creates certain bitterness, certain collision, non-cooperation will be there at certain times. So there always a conflict between the two sectors. They will tell that I am the best, and the private will tell no, we are the best. So in this way it will go on. Next is short-lived nature. What is short-lived nature? See, if the public sector expand, it is able to take over the private sector. Now, if the public sector is expanding more and more and more, so what will happen? It will take over the private sector. Okay. Mixed economy become a socialist economy after that. If the public sector is going on expanding, then what will happen? And one day you can see the private sector is also under the public sector, under the control of the public sector. So in that case, what will happen? Mixed economy can become a socialist economy. It may happen. On the other hand, the private sector dominate mixed economy convert into capitalist economy. Again, if the private sector also expand, then the private sector will take over the public sector, and ultimately what will happen? The mixed economy will become a capitalist economy. So that is why it is telling short-lived nature. But in reality, it is not possible. But now the scenario we can see it may be possible. It can possible. Okay, next is what inefficient cooperation. Inefficient operation. Now, private sector may not able to function effectively due to excessive control of the government. As because it's both the combination of the public and the private sector. So when you are working in a mixed economy, obviously there will be certain restriction on the part of the government. So in that case, they cannot able to work very freely, because at times the government is there to manage it, is there after you. So you cannot able to work very freely. On the other hand, the public sector may not be able to function effectively due to the lack of initiative on the parts of the bureaucrats. As because, so the government workers, those who are there present, it's also a lack from their side. So the public sector cannot be able to work because due to the lack of their initiatives. Okay, they are not in the mood to work. maybe it can be, no, they're not in the mood to work. So in that case, what happened? They will not work. They'll sit, just sit idle. They'll not go. They will not work. So in that case, what will happen? So in that case, also the public sector cannot work efficiently. Okay, next is poor performance of the public sector. The public sector suffer from inefficiency and repetition. So this is also a very poor performance. Next is excessive regulation. The government may like to regulate the private sector, like imposing excessive control like licensing system and monetary and fiscal regulation. So this is also excessive control on the part of the government. So if you want to open this industry, you have to do this license. If you have to open the shop, then you have to do this, you have to do that. So these are the various rules and regulations imposed by the government. So in that case, what happens? This is an excessive regulation, so you cannot able to work totally. So these are all the demerits on the part of the mixed economy. We have also discussed about the merits of the mixed economy and also the features of the mixed economy. Everything we have gone through, we have discussed. So if you have any problem, any doubt regarding anything, you can just ask me in the comment box and I'll try to make a video on your doubt clearance. So keep watching the channel. Thank you again for watching the full video.